Manchester United to bring in a new midfielder last minute in January. Reportedly, Manchester United are looking to do a midfield deal. Fabrizio Romano said if a midfielder becomes available on the market, United will be looking to do a deal. Who could that be? What's the news on midfielders? What midfielders are United in for? And more. Now, we know Moises Caicedo. Arsenal have just put a 60 million bid on him and Chelsea put a 55 million bid on him. Just to put that in perspective, Arsenal have already spent 50 million this transfer window on Badiashile and Trossard. Chelsea have already spent like over 100 million this transfer window on like 3 loan deals, including Felix, Badiashile, and Mudryk. Arsenal brought a centre back that wasn't Badiashile though, and they're putting like 60 million on Moises Caicedo, who would be brilliant for United. I know we've got Casemiro, would be brilliant. And I'm thinking, like, United need to wake up. Man United need to wake the actual fuck up. Like, I know we spent a lot in the summer. I know we're getting new owners in, but today we get reports that Man United are trying to sort out this new sponsorship. Whereas Arsenal are getting reports that they've put on a bid for a third player to maybe sign in January. And Chelsea are putting on a bid. Everyone is getting serious. And this sale better hurry the F up. Because everyone around us is getting serious. And we've finally got a serious manager. But if we're not going to act like a serious club, what's the freaking point? Now, there is a report that Jim Ratcliffe is really close to buying Manchester United for 4 billion. Don't really believe the source. It's not a very good source, but we will cover that anyway. But I would take that one with a pinch of salt. But I want to get into potential midfield signings. The 3 names that have been linked to Manchester United on a potential January midfield deal are Haidara, Gravenberch and Tielemans. Now, obviously, Fabrizio Romano's exact words were, I think if something is on the market like a midfielder, that could be a potential signing for United this month. We also know that Newcastle would have made a bid for Scott McTominay if they received any encouragement from the player or if Manchester United were open to selling him, but it's understood that they will not let the midfielder leave as Ten Hag views him as an important player. Now, I would probably sell McTominay and bring someone a little bit better in. That's my thought process, but United don't think like that. So, who are the midfielders that United could potentially be bringing in last minute? So we're going to talk about Haidara. We linked to him last January, very cheap last minute deal. Tielemans, because Leicester want to get some money for him, a very cheap last minute deal. Potential Royce on loan, I don't think that will happen. Gravenberch on loan, and also we'll be talking about Mohamed Kudus. So some of them are more attacking minded midfielders, some of them are midfielders, but let's have a talk of that as well. Also Rabiot, which again is unlikely. But before I get into that, please do hit that like button, and of course subscribe down below to Alice Talks Football if you're new. I will be back tonight with a video, and if you do want to stay up to date with all the latest news, this is the place to subscribe. Also, I am ill, just by the way, hence by the fact that I look ridiculously rough. I don't normally look this bad, I look awfully rough today, and I've got a bit of a cough, so I do apologise if I start coughing mid-video, but you girls got like COVID or something, to be fair. Probably COVID, I just don't want to do a test, because if I don't want to test positive. But what was said, we're going to get into the Jim Ratcliffe news quickly, because I think it's a take it with a pinch of salt kind of story. It was said by Tutu Metakano website, already boom, shit sauce, take with a massive, mate, don't even take with a pinch of salt, take with a wheelbarrow of salt. He said, he is reporting that Sir Jim Ratcliffe is close to buying Manchester United from the Glazers for 4 billion. Now, what do we know about Jim Ratcliffe? Boom, he is in for United. Boom, he's put in a bid. Boom, United is worth 4 billion, then you need another 2 billion investment in Carrington the stadium and clearing the debt. The Glazers want 6 billion. The Glazers should be asking for 4 billion because another 2 billion is going to be spent once they've bought the club. Could it happen? Potentially. Is he in? Yes. Is he seeming to be one of the leading bidders and the only person whose interest has been publicly confirmed? Yes. Is this an easy story to make up and jump on? Yes. I think this is the thing. The Glazers are not going to close the bidding process till the end of February because the Glazers are going to see if anyone comes in and puts in a higher bid than Ratcliffe, because Glazers are about money, Glazeronomics. I think Jim Ratcliffe's probably putting a 4 billion bid. I don't know if that'll be accepted because the Glazers want 6 billion. I think that they might have to go. I think they might not get much investment and they might have to sell for a little over 4 billion, which is still over the valuation of Manchester United. I think we won't know until kind of this time next month. I think the bidding process will close this time next month, and then we're kind of going to know who the new owners could be. Now, let's talk about the transfer news. Let's talk about players linked to United. So first, we're going to talk about Haidara, a DM who can also play CM. He was linked to us in the last January. Ratcliffe really wanted him. He can leave, like he's got a clause to leave this summer for very, very cheap. So maybe RB Leipzig want to cash in on him now. What was said on him? So it was said, Haidara, Manchester United are monitoring the midfielder for a summer transfer. So, reportedly there were some links saying we're in for him in January and all of that. However, it's being reported that this is more of a summer transfer that we're monitoring because obviously Man United cannot spend money in January. Even though this guy could be like 20 million, oh no, we can't spend 20 million in January. Even though we're on the verge of top 4, and if we finish in the top 4, we'll have like 60 million more in the summer. No. We can't spend 20 million more in January. Also, if we get top 4, we get more money from our Adidas sponsorship. So if United make top 4, I think they make £90 million more than if they're not to make top 4. So surely you would go and sign someone for 20 million to try and make top 4. Because if you don't make top 4, you're going to lose 90 million. But I guess the Glazers aren't going to be here in the summer, hopefully, fingers crossed. So they're probably like, I don't care if we get top 4 or not. I don't care if we make 100 million more by getting top 4. I ain't spending any money, even though they're about to cash in. But it was said Manchester United are interested in Haidara. According to the Independent, Brighton had a bid rejected by Leipzig for Haidara this January, and the Seagulls are keen on Haidara in case Moises Caicedo leaves in January. So this is the worrying thing. Now, this is a summer target. There was a couple of other sources linking into United in January. However, the Independent, I'm going to believe them over the sources saying we're making a January move for Haidara, because a lot of the sources saying United we're making a January move for Haidara weren't the most reliable. And obviously, I tell you guys if a source is reliable or not. I think that if Moises Caicedo goes to Arsenal or Chelsea, this guy goes to Brighton, because Brighton are smart. Brighton have got a good run board, and Brighton will get that deal done. I think this guy goes to Brighton, if I'm being honest. I think United will look at him in summer, especially because all the good midfielders will be taken, because we're doing nothing, and Caicedo will be gone, and Fernandes will be gone, and all of that as well. But it was said the 24-year-old midfielder has a clause in his contract that he can leave in the summer, and it's anticipated that there could be more interest from Champions League clubs in the summer. Meanwhile, Liverpool and United have looked at Haidara in the past, but it's been revealed that if they are going to go for him, it will happen in the summer. So basically, he might go to Brighton in January if they lose Caicedo. However, he might want Champions League football. Man United, probably going to get Champions League football, fingers crossed, but, everyone else is spending but us, so who actually knows? So he could definitely be someone we're getting in the summer. But Ten Hag wants a midfielder in January, and summer, that's not good enough for Ten Hag. So who is the midfielder we've been linked to in January? We're going to talk about Gravenberch, and we're going to talk about Tielemans. It was said by Ben Jacobs that Manchester United are ones to watch regarding Leicester City midfielder Yuri Tielemans before the transfer window closes. He's reporting that watch out for United. They could be doing something for Yuri Tielemans before the transfer window closes, because it will be very cheap. He said that United are interested in a creative-minded player in midfield more than a striker this January, and he adds that you've got to watch United in regards to Tielemans. They think they will make a move if anyone bids for him. So he's saying United are keeping an eye on Tielemans, and they will make a move if someone bids for him. What Ben Jacobs is basically saying is we're keeping an eye for Tielemans in January. If someone bids for them, we might make a move for him. But we know we can get him for free in the summer, so why won't we wait 6 months and get him for free in the summer? Because, Glazeonomics and all of that. Now, we also know that Manchester United would be interested on signing Gravenberch on loan in January. He's only played 177 minutes of first-team football. He was fantastic under Ten Hag last season in midfield. Not played a lot of football, and Manchester United would like Gravenberch on loan. However, basically, Bayern don't want to give him to us on loan. Now, I think Bayern, if they're not playing him and they could bring him to a top league, so wouldn't be going back to the Eredivisie, he'd be playing in the Premier League, under 10 Hag to get a few more minutes in their legs. If I was Bayern, I would do that. But reportedly, although United would like Gravenberch on loan, Bayern are not willing to do anything, which is really frustrating. Now, talking about loan deal, the last story coming in today, people, is that Manchester United are now willing to let Anthony Elanga leave on loan. There was obviously a lot of, question marks if Elanga was going to be allowed to leave on loan or not because of Ten Hag's lack of depth. Ten Hag is now saying, Elanga, he's ready to leave on loan. We're going to let Elanga leave on loan. Now, either this is because Pellistri's been good and Ten Hag's like, fine, Sancho's nearly back, Martial will be back, well, he'll probably get injured again, and Pellistri's been alright, so maybe I'll let Elanga go. Maybe Ten Hag's anticipating that we are going to do something. There was a news report that came out today that United are talking to the agents of 3 different players, but we don't know who those agents are as well, but that is pinch of salt news. Now, I think, Elanga going on loan is brilliant. I think that is the right decision. Regarding us bringing in a last-minute new midfielder, I'm not sure. Reportedly, we're in talks with 3 different agents. I don't know. I think Tielemans is potential, Haidara is potential, but we're going to have to spend money. We don't want to do that. And I think Gravenberch depends on buying. Like, we know that United would be interested in a Gravenberch deal on loan, but that really depends. That really depends on Bayern Munich, I think, that kind of story as well. But anyway, oh, coughing. Let me know your thoughts on the news. I know it's not like a big update. It's just like, are we going to sign a new midfielder? What is the news? What is the rumours? Kind of updating you on all the new midfielder news, and obviously reports that Jim Ratcliffe's close to buying United. If I'll be honest, I don't think I think new ownership, that's going to wait a month at least till we really have some indication. I think January deal, yeah, well, we've got 3.5 days. Something could happen on loan. I think maybe the others spending around us might make us spend. If it's true that we're in talks with free agents, again, this didn't come from the most reliable source, maybe. We'll have to wait and see. But I'd like Haidara. I think Ten Hag would like him. But yeah, independence then, we're looking at more for the summer, not January. Because reportedly, we've basically ruled us out of January transfers unless it's a loan. So unless buying, like, yeah, you can have Gravenberch. I feel like we're not going to get on in January, if I'm being honest with you guys. Smash a like, smash a subscribe. Thank you for watching anyway. See you next time. Bye.